sweetie, and welcome to What
They Don't Tell You podcast.
The pre-dental edition.
So this first video is going to tell you the actual application, what to do during that soft open month, and the next video will tell you what to look forward to, what happens after you hit submit.
The soft open just happened, so May 15th was the first day that the application opened. So it's important to know that you can't submit yet, but you can start preparing. So the whole point of us, starting the series and making this video is to talk about what to prepare for and what happens during the soft opening, which is where I'm at.
So what is the date for this cycle? Is June 1st the first date?
June 1st is the first day to submit.
And you know how they say the earlier you submit, the better it is for you.
Yeah.
So I think it's a question people ask a lot, like what is considered early? And I would say anytime from June to August is early.
Some schools have deadlines. So you want to make sure that you are aware of the deadlines for each school that you're applying to. So just in case you have to turn in some stuff. I know my situation, I'm taking the DAT in August. So even though I'm starting my application now, I won't officially submit until August. But I guess according to Sona, I'm still early. I was afraid that I would be late, but I'm still early, and I'll be looking at the deadlines for the schools just to be sure.
Yes, honestly, I submitted everything the last week of August, and I didn't see any kind of huge, difference in that.
Yeah. So how long does it take them to get? Let's say for me, the DAT, I'm submitting it. I take it the second week of August. It automatically goes to the school, but how long does it take for them to process that?
It's going to take 2 weeks for those scores to be submitted, but I think for you could submit everything else earlier. So if you do, that will still be considered, like let's say if you do submit in July, everything else, it just won't be looked at until your DT scores are received.
Okay, but I'll be in the queue, I'll be...
Right, so it would still get that stamp of earlier, so that might be something to think about.
Yeah, because my goal is June 1st. But, things happen. You never know. The last thing that I have is the DAT. So, yeah. So we want to talk about, the process. And we discussed previously personal statement and DAT. And now that the application finally opened, we can show what it looks like and how to navigate through it, right? What do you do? How do you get to the application?
How do you get there?
Yeah, how do you get there? I want to talk to you as if you don't even know where to start. So what website do you go to?
AADSAS, right?
AADSAS,
AADSAS, and you have to make a login. And for that login, you do need your dent pin, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
I got mine. Yeah, I created my account and then I got scared. And I was like, I'm going to wait till I see Sona and then we'll go through it together. But it's not that it's not that bad. I'm just so excited. I got nervous.
Right. I mean, there's a lot riding on it, so it's natural, I think, to feel those emotions. Once you open the application, there's going to be 4 quadrants, right? And I believe it's personal. The other one's going to be...
We can open it.
We probably should.
We should. Let's open it.
Okay.
So it'll be personal information, academic history, supporting information, and program materials. Okay, so when you open up personal information... Remember how I always say real time? We're doing this in real time. So I'm literally going through the application process with you guys. So I'm clicking the personal information section, and there's little tabs under that. Agreement statement, biographic information, contact information, so on and so forth. What does this mean?
I think the first quadrant is the easiest thing to finish first. Your previous addresses. It's going to ask you about, your citizenship, where you grew up. It's going to ask for your mom and dad information. Just very basic things. So I think all this entire section can be done very quickly.
I'm scared. I'm scared because I just don't want to do anything wrong. I want everything to be perfect.
Well, don't forget, you can edit this as much as you want. As long as you don't hit submit, you can edit this every single day if you wanted to.
Okay.
So but every time you do finish a section, you get a nice little green check mark. So it makes you feel like you're getting progress. So definitely start with the personal tab and do all those sections.
Okay. Okay, and then what would you recommend to be the second tab? So there's academic history, supporting information, and program material. What do you think should be next?
So probably academic history. So that's where it's going to ask you about your high school, your colleges, any master's programs. And there is this tedious task in that section where you have to write down every single class you ever took, college and up, so not high school. But you need to write down, the subject, the numbers, the credit
hours,
the grade, and be very precise with this because they will double check this and make sure it matches, because if it doesn't, it's just going to take longer to process.
Okay, so in academic history, you'll be putting colleges and universities, high schools attended, transcript entry. That's the tedious part. So you'll get your unofficial transcript. You can look up your unofficial transcript for the schools that you went to and literally manually put in every single class, every single grade, because although you send them your transcript, right? You send them your official transcript.
You do. They also do offer an option to pay for a service. If you don't want to do that, you can pay for someone else to do it. But I've also heard stories that sometimes it's hard to contact them and they take longer than they say they are going to. So up to you.
I just feel like with the DAT stuff and paying for everything, if you have some time, you just do it yourself.
Right, but
just do it yourself.
If you don't want to. Some people attended multiple colleges and they have different, academic histories. It's a lot. And you have to order a transcript from each school, and I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So next.
Well, also, also to mention, this is where your DAT scores go. So if you haven't taken it yet, you would put the date in which you did. And once you do receive that, you would upload it in that section.
Okay, and that's where standardized tests.
Standardized tests. So that's going to be your DAT. You would put in your unofficial scores because you do get a printout after you taking it. And obviously, the official scores get sent to them, and then they would again fact check that.
Okay.
And I feel like the next section is going to be supporting information, and this is where all the the meaty stuff is. This is the most information heavy, I would say, section. So, for example, your personal statement, that's where that would go. This is where your rec letters would go. This is where your experiences would go, which this I think takes the longest time. Or, well, I guess it depends on your history and what you've done. But this is where you put every volunteer experience, every extracurricular activity, any kind of shadowing, any dental jobs, any jobs in general. This is the section where you put it.
Okay, so the tabs under there's 5. It's evaluations, experiences, achievements, licenses, and personal statement. And last but not least, program materials.
So this is where you select which school you want to send your application to. So there's going to be a list of every single dental school in the United States. You get to pick, whatever your choices are. And then for each school, it will tell you either the supplemental question or what kind of requirements they have for classes. So for example, some schools require microbiology nowadays. And I know not everyone has taken that.
No.
So you would, and this is where after the transcript has been finalized, after you type in all of your transcript entries, you would hit finalized. And that is when under that supporting information tab, you would drag one by one. That's going to ask you, okay, 2 biologies. You would drag it one by one. So that's also kind of tedious for every school you apply to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Okay.
Let's break that down one more time.
Let's break that down. I don't know anything. No, literally, we already been through this. I don't know.
It's your first time, yes.
So what?
So add programs, right? Let's say we're going to select a specific school. They're going to tell you, okay, our prereqs are 2 bios, 2 chems, whatever it may be. Then it's going to show you the transcripts, the classes you added from your transcripts.
Okay.
And then you would have to drag one by one. Like, okay, my 2 bios are this one and this one. So if you went to different schools, you can pick which ones you want to put on there.
Okay.
So it's
per school.
Per school.
Oh, well, my list isn't that long.
Yes.
Okay, so those are the 4 quadrants that you will come across when you get into the AADSAS application section of the website. So what happens after that? I think that's it.
That's it. After you hit send,
I feel like
that's when our next video comes in because there's a lot more steps to it.
I feel like it sounds very simple, but it's not. At all. So what do you think, what was the most challenging part of the application process to you?
I think challenging. I think again, as prepare this that's why they give you this soft open, I think. Because they realize it's a lot of work, but as long as you put a few hours every day, it's totally doable. But I know for me, for example, experiences took a long time because I've done a lot. You know, I am a non-traditional student. I have a lot of
Lived a lot of life.
a lot of life behind me. So we are talking every single extracurricular club, your role in that, the dates you worked. They want a supervisor like number and emails for contact information and an entire paragraph explaining your duties and what you did. So that took me a very long time because, you know, we're talking clubs, we're talking all of my previous employments, volunteer experiences. Like that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
So if you can do that earlier, the better. As someone who hasn't even, like, let's say, started the application, if you can even do that earlier, you can make a chronological list of all the things you've done, right? Like volunteering opportunities and whatever it may be. And that way, once you get to the section, you're just filling it in.
Okay, we'll be doing that. We'll be doing that today.
Also, I think just to mention, in personal information, they will have certain paragraphs where you can explain, for example, any bad grades, any kind of disadvantaged status. COVID-19, there's a whole paragraph explaining how that, you know, disrupted your academic journey, things like that. So definitely take use of that, I think. And because that is your chance to explain it.
Oh, I got some explaining to do.
I did too.
They're gonna be like, ma'am. I was going through some things, okay? But we got it together.
I think they know that. I think a lot of people have.
If you're watching, I got it together. Let me in.
Yeah, but that is, cool. I think that's nice of them to allow, you know, a little opportunity.
I mean, it just shows you, like, we're human. Like, we're bound to make mistakes, and you learn. You live and you learn.
Absolutely. And also, because they have this application, when you do get to interviews, like, they do ask about that. So do not lie on this application.
You know what I mean? Don't be lying. Yeah, don't lie. Be honest, because you don't have to remember the truth.
Right.
And you just want to be authentic.
I also want to talk about like recommendation letters, because I know for me, I had some issues. Well, one, I think let's talk about different facets about this.
Yeah. I would say, okay, let's start with the time frame.
So if you want to submit by June, you should be telling your professors like January, February, like months in advance, because they have a lot going on.
Yeah. And there's other students that are also applying in your same class that want a letter also. So you have to keep that in mind. Don't forget that people also have their own things going on.
And I know for like, especially non-traditional students, it's kind of tough because we haven't been in school for years for, you know, certain cases. And I remember last time I was applying, it was really hard for me to find rec letters because I haven't been in school. And like,
they're like, who? What class you took? I don't even teach that anymore.
Right? Yeah. Like 6+ years. But this is where I think, so for example, I did go back to my undergrad and I set up a meeting with somebody. With my professor, just saying, hey, I took your class years ago, and here's my resume, here's my CV, this is what I've been doing, like, I really need this for, you know, this application, like, will you help? And it worked.
Yeah, it does help to send them, even your personal statement, because they know you in their classrooms, you want to build those relationships, but when they know what you're doing outside, I think it helps them to write something that is meaningful.
And also, I want to mention different services that I've used. Being a non-traditional student, being someone who applied multiple times, I did use Interfolio.
Okay,
do you know what that is?
So, I heard it I learned about it at the Harvard student thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you basically have a folder where you store all your letters of recommendation, and you can link it directly to AADSAS, right?
Yep. So I use that. So that's awesome, because let's say you are a re-applicant, try again, a lot of your basic information stays, but that will be wiped out. So to re-ask about letters is kind of, you know, uncomfortable.
Because sometimes the professors send it directly how does that work?
So originally, I think they send it directly to.
So sometimes you won't even know what they wrote.
Yes, most of the time they're going to ask you in that section, like, do I waive my right? And you should click yes. That means
I'd be like,
because that means you waive rights to access that letter. Like, you don't know what's in it. Like, it's completely honest from that professor. So that's why you should always click waive your rights. Okay, so Interfolio I thought was super helpful. And I just put in Interfolio's little website, and they're the one who uploaded the letter. They also check it because there is requirements for letter. For example, the professor needs a hand signature, write it. And I know one time for me, one of the professors forgot to, so I had to resend
wait, I
it.
didn't know that.
They need to. It can't just be typed out. It can be typed. Okay.
But they have to sign
They
it.
have to physically sign it.
They have to okay, it can be typed, but it just has to be physically signed.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
It needs a header.
Okay, that makes sense too.
So it needs a header from their institution and.
Because I'd imagine people writing their own letters of recommendation.
Right. Like, we need some like.
Like, are you crazy?
Exactly.
Okay.
And the cool thing about Interfolios, they check for you. So if it, like, for example, for me, I did forget, or my person did forget their signature, they emailed them on their behalf.
How many letters of recommendation are required?
So 2 from a science or academic professor.
2 science.
Science specifically, yes. And then 1 general dentist.
Yeah.
And then you do have an option for a 4th one. And some people, I know some schools, for example, will require a religious leader or specific for volunteering only. So again, look into your school's requirements. I personally did give 3 science rec letters and 1 dentist.
Yeah, that's looking like what I have going on now.
If you have it, why not? It's not going to hurt.
Okay.
But I heard also people do kind of like abuse this. They'll start emailing the schools asking, like, can I send you more than 4? And I feel like you don't need to do all that.
Take these 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to know each other. Maybe I'll need a rec letter from you later. Like, hey, Sona, write me a rec.
To know more details about that, we can totally make a new video, like the differences between the 2.
Can we?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think there is that option actually on there that if you do have it, you can upload it. So that's all. Like, it never hurts.
Yeah. That sounds like something I want to do. I feel like organization purposes, it might help me because I feel like it looks simple, but it sounds so detailed.
Right.
That I'm probably gonna.
Honestly, it would help you a lot because, to be honest, for that experience section, you would have all your things listed there already.
All my experience.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome.
Right.
That's so cool.
Well, let's talk about your experience. Okay. So you said you just applied for your dent pen. You started the application. And you haven't started yet.
No, I'm scared.
So what are you scared of?
I don't know. I feel like when I open it, I want to be perfect. Like, not perfect.
No, I think.
But I don't want to make any mistakes. And I feel like anything I type in is permanent. Like, I can't edit it out. Like, I understand. Yeah. Like, logically, my brain is like, yes, we know. But I just get so scared because it's like I'm finally applying after all these years. Like, I've been through so much just to get to this website. It's scary.
Yeah, I could understand why. This is why they give you that full month before submitting, because it is tedious. There's a lot to do, but work a little bit every day. I think totally possible. I also would recommend there's like little paragraphs, we totally forgot. There's also a paragraph about manual dexterity.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like, right. So all of these paragraphs should be written like professionally. Never any bullet points, a nice paragraph.
Yes. So do you just type it directly in there or you type it outside?
You can. So again, you can type it in and then save it. And again, it's never permanent unless you hit submit at the end. So you can erase whatever you need to do.
So don't press submit unless you're sure. So I guess what I'm going to start with, I started my personal statement. I'm still working on it because I think I'm overthinking it, but we won't go there. So I think the least scary one is the personal information. So maybe we'll do it, but I've never gotten this far. So this is all foreign territory for me. I'm so, so, so grateful to be in an environment where I'm around people that have done it because this is very scary. This is super exciting, and I'm pretty sure you could relate. But now that we're here, we got to just take off. We got to do it. So, yeah. I feel like I have so many questions, but I don't even know where to Where to start?
Honestly, we were talking about this video and how we were going to film that today, and she was texting me like, I honestly need to go through it with you. Like, actually, after we're done filming, can we actually do this?
We'll be doing this after. So if there's anything that I learn along the way or anything that I'm, afraid of, I will be sharing it. And any pointers or anything you guys want to share, also comment below. We are active, and you can DM us on Instagram too. But I'm taking a summer class and I'm studying for the DAT, so it's super important for me to be organized and manage my time. So if you're working or you also are taking a course or you're at the end of your semester, be sure to organize every little detail of like your schedule.
Right.
So I think you recommended like a 2-hour block a day.
People are filling out this application while also studying for the DAT. So I think time management is a huge role in this.
Yeah. So no procrastination like I just did. Well, I really just wanted to get a guide. So if you know anyone, like a friend, or even if you want to DM us, we can talk about, what it is that we're going through exactly when you're filling out this information. And again, just be as honest as possible. When it comes to the grades, not the grades, but inputting your transcript, spelling is important also, right? Like make sure you spell every class you took, like everything correctly, the sections, the credits, everything. Double check everything. I think that's probably what's scary for me. I'm most insecure about those grades. Those undergrad grades.
I think seeing those again, physically
I feel like I'm gonna experience some trauma, some PTSD.
Right,
but then when I get to my master's, I'm gonna be like,
exactly. It's a whole journey.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of that. I think also to note, when you do put in your transcript entry, you do need to send an official copy to them specifically. So that's what you would do through like Parchment or like these other like companies. Yeah. So that will also.
Yeah, and that's also like they charge now for that.
They charge.
I remember before it was like $5. Now it's $10. Yeah. Through Parchment. I don't know any other.
Definitely 10 to 15 per institution. And then on the other side, as someone just starting dental school, they also ask for degree conferment. So that's when you actually matriculate in. You need again to order these transcripts, but now it has to say officially, like graduated, certified, like your dean certificate, it's called. So I'm actually in the process of getting those right now for all my masters and my undergrad.
Really?
So they need it for, again, it comes back.
Oh.
Right.
So much to do.
But we're doing it.
We're doing it. We are. We're killing it. I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too.
So after you hit submit, there is a whole nother chain of reactions that happen.
I said I created an account and she want to talk about what happens after. Like, I'm not panicking already, but carry on.
What happens next?
Yeah.
So I think that's why I want to do a whole separate video on that, because there is different things. For example, the supplemental essays per school, that comes later on. There's also, different kinds of ethical exams, such as the Casper exam that's required by certain schools.
What's the Casper exam?
Oh, so that is a ethical exam. Again, done at like a third party, and some schools require it. And you're scored between 1 to 4, 3 and 4 being very well, and kind of tests you on your abilities of being like empathetic, communication, and just like that moral compass part.
If there's any tests I'm confident about, is that one.
Right?
Yeah. I'm such an empath. I think that I'll be fine. Okay.
And there's lots of tools also to study for those too, like on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that. How do you
study for that?
You see, I'm about to. Okay. Right. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But there are resources for that.
There are resources to study for that too, which again we'll cover in that next video.
Okay.
And then I know for one of the schools I applied to, for example, they ask for a passport photo.
Okay.
So there's other additional things that will come the minute you hit submit, and we will share that.
We will
in our next video.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed. Go over to our Instagram and follow us. Interact with us. Let us know what's going on with you, what part of your journey you're in, and don't forget to press the bell notification to know every time that we post. And yeah.
Our DAT Destroyer giveaway.
Yes.
So if you didn't know, our last video, we said you had to comment, like, subscribe, follow our channels, and
tag a friend.
Tag a friend. So we are going to pop up the name right here of our winner. So we will be DMing you, and you have won a free DAT Destroyer.
Yes.
2021 version valued at $200.
So it would be super useful as a supplemental tool with whatever source you're using. So we're excited. We can't wait for you to receive this. And yeah.
And we want to do more of these. So we want to give back because I think every pre-dental or every dental student who kind of makes it and understands this journey always wants to give back.
Yeah.
And I generally do feel that.
No, for real. Like, we understand. It's hard.
Right. So keep liking, keep subscribing. We want to give more to you guys.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.